Hey, it's Justin from JKR Reptiles, bringing you here the pro tip videos on how to sex your snake and how to sex your ball pythons, but more specifically. Sexing is important because you're going to be able to know whether or not to name your snake Adam or Eve, and you'll know whether or not you can breed the pair that you have, or if you need to get a different one. So it's an important skill to have, and it's something that takes a little bit of practice. But I'm going to show you guys all the details on what to do. The first thing you need to know is that there's no accurate way of looking at your snake and telling if it's a boy or a girl. Basically, you're going to look at it, and some people will say, oh, it's extra big, so it's a girl, or it's got these huge spurs, and so therefore it's a boy. No, there is no accurate way. You'll go both ways. You can see huge spurs on a girl, you can see a really large male. You need to know how to probe or pop or both in order to accurately tell what sex your snake is. And for our model here, I'm going to start by probing. For our model here, I have a nice little firefly male from last year. He's a really pretty boy, and hopefully he's cooperative. I didn't get him to sign any releases for this video, so we'll see how that goes. A probe kit can be purchased online at like a online reptile store. I got mine on eBay, and I got like 10 years ago. This is a really crappy, cheap probe kit, but they don't need to be anything special. Basically, all they are is a small metal dowel with a nice rounded end so it's not sharp. With a sharp end, you could injure your animal. And it's going to come in an assortment of sizes, so you might use this for a hatchling, this for slightly larger than a hatchling, for subadults, and maybe up to this size for an adult ball python. And the trick is to get it small, big enough that it won't, that's not going to be real sharp and stab the snake, and not so big that it will have a hard time going in. So we'll see if we can get this boy to cooperate here for this one. The first step is kind of get your snake just relax a little bit, so it's not all tight and all jumpy. And what you're going to do then is you're going to open up its tail here. So I'm going to kind of wrap around my body and support its tail with my hands. So turn around. Alright. So what you see here is you see the cloaca, and you see the spurs on each side. And you see they're relatively small for this male. And he's going to keep fighting me here. Now to probe, I'm going to take my probe and I'm going to dip it in Vaseline. This is just eco lubricant to get it to go ahead and move in well. Okay, I see how I have his tail here. I'm going to pull it back a little bit and put it into his cloaca, pushing towards the tip of the tail. And I'm going to press in very gently. Okay. Now you can see here I'm going to put my fingernail where it enters in so I can see exactly how far the probe went in. And it went in a good inch. Now a good way to tell exactly what that means is to place it over the top, and so you can see how far it actually went into the snake. And as you do that, you can count how many scales equal that distance. Now for this one, it looks to me like it's about 8 to 9 scales, and that is definitely a boy. What this is doing, this is entering the inverted hemipenes of the male. It's basically going inside the hemipenes, which is inside out currently in the male because it's not being used. Now there's 2 hemipenes, and so you can go either side. You see how I kept to the left that time. I'm going to do it again, the left. That's the left hemipene, and then I'm going to go over here to the right. There's the right hemipene. Okay, you won't want to go down the middle, you're just going to hit a block. I'm going to go either left or right into one of those 2 hemipenes. Next I'm going to probe a female. I'm going to cut out here and come back. I'm going to probe a female so you can see exactly how far the probe goes on a female ball python. Alright, I'm going to show you how to tell a female ball python by probing on this Mojave spider. This is a combo morph, Mojave and spider together. One of my favorite simple combos. Alright, now the trick on these is always just to kind of support its body. Again, I'm going to kind of pull its tail back here and get my probe. Alright, I'm going to keep to the left here and push it in, and I'm stopped. See, I'm hitting resistance. I'm not pushing hard, I'm just feeling to where you have a little bit of resistance, and I know that's where I'm stopping. Okay, And if you pull this up, you see how little this went into the female. It went in about 3 to 4 scales. Okay, so there's the difference. The female, if it had gone in this far, I would know it was a male. So you see the difference. The females don't have a hemipene, and so there is no space there for the probe to push on in. It will go in just a little bit. There's a little bit of space, but there's no hemipene for it to continue on into that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th scale. All right, back talking to you about popping. This is a male yellow belly, 50% het pied ball python. And to pop a ball python is something that just takes a lot of practice. And I wouldn't say you practice a lot on one male, one snake, simply because it's going to be, you're really pushing on them, and it can damage the tissue if you're doing it over and over. Okay, so if you want to practice popping, I suggest you do it on a different snake once a week or something like that, and don't continue to do the same one over and over again. Once you get it right, and you really know what you're doing, you should get it right the first time every time, and there's no reason to do it again after you've done it right the first time. So, just a little word of caution on the popping, and you just want to be gentle with them. At the same time, you want to make really jumping around on me here, really sure movements. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take him. What you do is just like the probing, you're going to take him by the tail, and he's going to hide on me here a little bit. And I'm just going to straighten him out and relax him a little bit. Now on the popping, if you watch other videos and people doing it, one thing that I didn't get for a long time was the roll of this thumb in the popping. And on this thumb, what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling back just a little bit and pushing down. So it's kind of like this. Okay? This thumb stays back here, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to roll it forward. What I'm doing by this is I'm actually forcing the hemipines. I'm voiding this space. I'm pushing them out of the tail and out of the cloaca. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do it here. Okay, here's my male. You see his two hemipines, one on each side. And they're nice and small. They're pretty easy to get out. Once you know the right technique, it's easy. Okay, and so you see I pulled back and I pushed forward with my thumb. I'm going to do it one more time, then I'm going to let him be. There's his hemipines. Now it's a little bit easier on the smaller male simply because they don't have the same muscle control back there. They're not going to be fighting you quite as much. And the hemipines aren't as large. On the adult males, it's still this exact same technique, and it's really not hard once you know your ropes and how to do it with the younger males. Just a little bit more pressure. But definitely learn with a younger male. You're going to find the process a lot easier. Alright, now I'm going to show you popping a female ball python, just so you can see exactly what it looks like and what it looks like when there is no hemipines. So same thing here. She's pretty cooperative. And take and turn her over, loosen up the tail a little bit, pull back with my thumb, push forward with this thumb. Okay, and you see here what you have, seeing its profile of my thumb, you have two spots here on the side. These are actually scent glands, one on each side. And don't mistake those for hemipines. They're further out to the outside, and they're white. They're not bright red like the hemipines. And they only come out about, on the small ones, about a quarter as far. Alright, let me do it one more time. Pull back, push forward, and we got our scent glands again. This female has no hemipines, which is a good thing. Alright, I'm going to let her go. This is a female Mojave, by the way. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this pro tips on popping and probing your snake. If you have any topic ideas or anything or any questions about how to do it, make sure you ask me. Until next time, JKR Pro Tips Series.